definitely go tap in with the Pop with Tigmatic.
Y'all tune into the Pop Podcast. And guess what? There's an episode of me on
and you are tuned into the Pop Podcast.
And with the Pop Podcast with my boy Tigmatic. You hear me? It's going down. To follow the Pop Podcast with Tigmatic.
That's that number one.
That's that number one.
Introducing the all-new, all-natural Wrap Patch. The smoking bandage for broken, stale, cracked, torn cigars, cones, cigarettes, wraps, you name it. Here we have a stale cigar with 2 holes in it. We're going to take our brown paper wrap patches and we're going to tear it in half because a little goes a long way. You lick the shiny adhesive side of the wrap, and then you apply it to the damaged area, smoothing it over as you go, like you see me doing here, to get all the air bubbles out and to make it a complete airtight seal. We're going to take our other side of our wrap patch and do the exact same thing with the other hole. These are our brown papers, and now we have a completely new fixed cigar. No need to throw it out, no wasting money. Now we have the same cigar, completely broken in half, and these are our white colored papers. As you see, the shiny adhesive side is the side that you lick. Hold your piece of your damaged smoking vessels together. Apply the wrap patch. And it doesn't even have to be perfect. These are how well and how good the wrap patches adhere. Smooth it around. You can add heat to speed up the drying process. But like we have here, a completely fixed, airtight seal cigar. Odorless, tasteless. It's a game changer, y'all. Get yours now. TheWrapPatch.com. Patent pending.
I'm elevating in my sleep. I wake up, I don't know which way to think. This is a calling for me. Thank God he did all this for me. Yeah. No hesitation when I reach. I'm thankful I'ma practice what I preach. This is a calling for me. Thank God he did all this for me. Yeah. Mama's only son, I love you even when I'm numb. I'm dumb, you look at me like son, that's an invisible hug, I'm still hard-headed. You worry how I'm living, them bars wasn't in prison, they hated my decisions. I'm stuck inside them walls, them calls nobody else would listen. But still look, I'm positive as a crook, the criminal let me cut. More problems did as a crush, excited I wrote with righteous killers who not corrupt. Charges they brought against me, memories lift me up, abusing my pain, voices is strange, poisonous rage. My heart is trapped in my socks and I'm failing my eldest age. Let homie don't make me bother you before I give you this game. On 10 again with my feelings, this business got sober visions. It's crazy how they count on gorillas who serve a sentence, take care of family and women. The saddest shit I can't mention. RP to my pops, but mama used to the realest. I'm elevating in my sleep. I wake up, I don't know which way to think. This is a calling for me. Thank God he did all this for me. Yeah. No hesitation when I reach. I'm thankful I'ma practice what I preach. This is a calling for me. Thank God he did all this for me. Yeah. Free my nigga Foolish doing 165. Swear to God I cried with my nigga Aandre. Money ain't shit if the family not tied. It may take some time if you vote on me, you blind. I tried again with so many attempts. Misery came, I ain't care about shit. Nothing can break me or tell me I quit. And fuck what they think, they just cap on the net. Too many liars, it causes chest pains. Nah, not my nigga, that's crazy. Life bring tears to your face in different stages. All this fake love can't rub on me, it's contagious. God, do you love me? Not proud cause the money. Sacrifice when I was hungry, humble, put the world before me. I put all this pain inside this grind, I know the devil hung me. I look through the rain, at times it's blinded, really all or nothing. I'm elevating in my sleep. I wake up, I don't know which way to think. This is a calling for me. Thank God he did all this for me. Yeah. No hesitation when I reach. I'm thankful I'ma practice what I preach. This is a calling for me. Thank God he did all this for me. Yeah.
V-Ray's going too hard though. Don't cry, dry your eyes, just wait. When faith is low and trust is hard, just wait. It's like I prayed and I prayed and I praise some more. It's like the desires of my heart won't on your mind no more. Drowned in the water, couldn't find you, no car, see a boat. Know why you ignoring me, yeah. Seen people blessed with my request, like now you gotta be teasing. Telling myself it's in due season, like I'm really believing. My blessing came once I realized delayed for a reason. You not hear me, yeah. Don't cry, dry your eyes, just wait. When faith is low and trust is hard, just wait.
Never plan ahead, live up in the moment. Put my trust in God, cause he never leave me lonely. I was trusting in my homies till he showed me they won't for me. I just wait on God, cause he'll remove them. Man, I'm many talents, I just try my best to use them. Gotta feel my purpose, if I don't, my life was useless. This a different type of music, but who else was built to do this? I just wait on God and let him use me. When faith get low and trust get hard, don't cry, wait on God, on God, on God, on God.
Don't cry, dry your eyes, just wait on God. When faith is low and trust is hard, just wait on God.
Just wait on God.
Made up my mind that I can't be outside his will. That I'ma do nothing but trust him despite how I feel. When your emotions don't change your confession, it's real. You gotta keep your faith strong. That's the simplest I know. Guard what you look at and what you let between your ears. God good, his showers of comfort outweigh all your stress. It's true, I had to share this good news to all my peers. Your timing, not his timing, and the spirit I heard him say. If he didn't do it, no, it's not because it couldn't be done. You just weren't mature enough to handle it. And he ain't just gonna bless anyone. Wait on God. Don't cry, dry your eyes, just wait on God.
All right, folks, we are here. Listen, it's your boy. Welcome to another episode of the pot. It's Friday. I hope y'all feeling good out here. This episode was brought to you by Rat Patch. This is hiphop.com, Collywood Radio, Collywood TV, Collywood Music, and DemoniBrand.com and NorShadeTheMore.com. Also, DDS Management. Tonight, I have my guest, this family. He's been here before, so he's an alumni. But I got to bring him on again, y'all. We're going to chop it up for a bit, and we're going to get right to it. So without further ado, I bring you Aandre Fludd. What's poppin', cousin?
Yo, what's going on, brother?
Man, what's going on with you?
Man, good to be here, bro. I'm excited, man. How you
Welcome
doing?
back, man. I'm good. How you?
Oh, bro, I'm good. I'm alive. That's the best thing I can say.
Oh, man, I hear that.
Yeah,
So,
man.
for those that didn't see you the last time around, the floor is yours. Give yourself a formal introduction, and we can get right to it.
What's up, everybody? My name is Aandre T. Fludd. I'm 27 years old. I live in San Antonio, Texas. I currently work in Austin, Texas as a data analyst for Tesla. I also volunteer in different nonprofit organizations such as 100 Black Men of San Antonio. I'm a junior at Morehouse College in Atlanta, Georgia, pursuing my degree in business administration. And I'm just looking to make an impact in the community and all the things I do. So that's just a little bit about me right now.
Hey, listen, we got to shake and move out here. A prestigious fellow. If you don't know, now you know.
Yes, sir.
So, man, how's everything going out there in San Antonio, man?
Man, besides the construction, they got this major project going on around the city. So traffic is crazy, man. But besides that, the quality of living, everything is good. People are great. We're going through, obviously, as everyone around the country, through a change of administration in the government, so we got people, settling into a new day and age. But ultimately, out here, everything is great, man. I love being around family. I love the community, brother.
Hey, man, that's what's up. So let's get into it. 100 Black Men.
Yeah.
Tell people about it and break it down a bit.
Well, it's a nationwide organization, nonprofit organization. It's entitled 100 Black Men. And the purpose is for every chapter to have 100 Black men who are mentors to young men in the community. Now, it's not limited to that number, 100, but that was the start of what the vision is. And, we connect with each other to enhance one another as men. When it comes to economic empowerment, when it comes to leadership, spirituality, financial literacy, we have to build a community of like-minded individuals in order for us ourselves to grow. And that's what this organization does. So there's chapters in different states and different cities around the country. And we get together as men and we go into the community, invest in the community, whether it's volunteer, do work. We mentor young boys, we give out scholarships, and we just represent ourselves as high-level, classy, and intellectual Black men. So that's a little bit about the organization. I've been a part for a year now, officially as a mentor, but I was a part as a mentee growing up, 10 plus years ago. And that was an amazing experience. I benefited from a scholarship from there going into college. around that time. So now that I'm able to give back as a mentor, I'm looking to help and pour into young men, just like it was done to me.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's giving back in a major way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We definitely need that. We need mentors for the youngest. You're also a part of another one, right? To Make a Man, right?
Yeah. So To Make a Man, that is a mentorship program. That is something that I started back in 2023 individually. And now I'm able to partner with 100 Black men. And we utilize this program as a part of our Saturday Academy. And during the Saturday Academy, we bring young boys between 6th to 12th grade, and we have a curriculum, a yearly curriculum that we follow every session. We have topics that we discuss, action items, things so that they can take home with them to learn and think about as they're going through their everyday life. We're instilling disciplines in them so that they know how to restrain themselves from making poor decisions or having negative thoughts or negative feelings. So I'm proud to be the program director of To Make a Man. And San Antonio is the founding chapter of To Make a Man. And we're
That's
looking
awesome.
to expand this chapter into other cities, other states, so that they can start their own chapter of To Make a Man as a branch of what we're doing here in San Antonio.
Oh man, that's awesome. So, what inspired you to create To Make a Man and inspired you to join 100 Black Men in the first place?
Right.
Tell people a bit about that.
Well,
What was the inspiration for you?
I joined 100 Black Men specifically to be around other high-level individuals, high-level men who have experiences out in the world and have had success in the things that they have put their minds to or pursued. So I was very intrigued at building a connection with brothers who are older than me to be able to pour into me so that I can take the steps in my manhood to continue to grow. Now, how that segued into To Make a Man, there were just young men in my community that I was connected to and families that I was connected to who personally asked me to mentor their child. And, it started with one or two or three. And once the numbers started growing, I realized that this could be a group. I didn't have to no longer individually mentor. I could collectively mentor these young boys. And that's where To Make a Man started. I was helping these young men in the beginning with their behavior issues at school or in the community. Also, confidence and self-esteem help building that as well. So once I was able to observe the need of these young men, then I decided to create an entire program that was surrounded around the needs that I was able to see in these young men in the community, and that's where To Make a Man started. It just allowed me to reflect on the things that were poured into me as a young boy from men in my family and men in my community and my father, and also there
Shout
was
out to home.
yeah, shout out to my dad. Also, there were some things that I did not receive, as a young man or a young boy growing up. So I wanted to make sure that what was poured into me, I was able to pour that into the young men, and also what I might have lacked at certain areas, I wanted to make sure that I could give that to them as well, so that they wouldn't experience any of the feelings, thoughts, decisions, and situations that I went through. So that's where To Make a Man came from, and we have a meeting and a session every third Saturday here in San Antonio at 10 a.m.
Yo, I think that is great what you do.
Thank you, brother.
And I commend you for wanting to pour back into the youngins because they need it, especially in these times. The generations are running more rampant every day, So guidance is something that they definitely need.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you for wanting to step up in a major way that way. I'm on the same type time. I'm about educating, teaching, and helping the next generation grow.
Absolutely.
And that's what we should all be about out here. You feel me?
Man,
so,
you got a unique story, that many young men need to hear. Fortunately, for some young men out here, it gets to the point where it's too late. If they would have heard somebody or had somebody speak to them before they made the wrong decision, some of them would still be alive. Some of them would not be locked up. It's one thing to have someone come and talk to you about what they heard, but it's another thing to have someone come talk to you about what they've experienced personally.
It's a big difference.
And you have, just like myself with my own personal experiences, have experiences that are unique that will not only touch someone, but can also heal somebody.
Yeah. And that's the goal. The goal is to help everyone seek healing in a major way.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Our communities need it. So, which leads to my next question. Since we went there, we talked about that. How does your programs address generational trauma, especially in Black and Brown communities? Let's talk about it.
Man, so that is that's where we have to be very, very particular and specific and detailed in what we're going to teach.
Right.
Once we're able to observe a trauma, right? We have to talk and communicate with that child. We have to get their background about how they were raised, maybe some experiences that they have with their siblings and with their parents, to get an understanding and a context of what trauma they may have. Now, my biggest advocate is whatever your trauma is, if you can connect spiritually with yourself, then you can overcome that trauma.
That's right.
Most people just never get to the point where they stay connected or they feel fully connected with God and within themselves, to where the connection with their trauma is much stronger, has a much stronger hold on them. So what we try to teach, and going into our session for tomorrow, emotional intelligence, leadership qualities, public influence, different qualities that a man should have in order to be a leader, not only out in the community, but be a leader within his own self. What most people don't realize, man, is that you have to know how to lead yourself before you know how to lead other people.
That's right.
And if you can't lead your mind and lead your heart, who are you going to teach? You know what I mean? And that's the main thing that we try to connect with the young boys, is how to understand how you feel, so that you can communicate how you feel, how to understand what and how to think. That way, when a thought arises, you know how to analyze that thought and not succumb to the negative energy or negative feelings, or be misguided, by those thoughts that might not be, natural to you. So we have to do specific investigations with students and mentees, excuse me, about what their personal experience is. I've had, like I said, kids with behavior issues, and that just doesn't happen, randomly. Like you said, it has to do with maybe some type of traumatic pattern. So we have to identify that. And it's not just a one-time thing to where we have one conversation and we have a solution. We have to build a relationship of trust to where when the moments of vulnerability comes, we have been open and receptive thus far to where when they speak to us, now we can have a transparent conversation.
Yeah, that's very important. You know, they have to feel like they can trust you in order to open up to you. And building the trust is not always easy, especially when they've been through some type of trauma or, you know, things just aren't great at home.
And let me
You
say,
know?
let me say this. One of the biggest mistakes, man, that us as men do is that because we have not addressed because some of us have not addressed some of the emotions and thoughts and feelings within ourselves, we fail to be transparent in the opportunity when it comes to connecting with a young man. So
I
what's
agree.
happening is these young men don't want to talk to us. Not just men, they don't want to talk to adults, period. Why?
Yeah.
Because they don't feel like we understand. Why?
Or hurt.
That because they don't feel as though they can trust us. You know, there's always some type of hierarchy that they have to be aware of, to where if they lose a level of formality with you, then now they feel as though they can't be as transparent and honest. So we have to be able to meet people at the place where they communicate with
Yes.
judgment, you know, and before we force them or even suggest that they tell us some of their personal trauma, we should be open and willing to share what we've gone through, especially if it's something that we've already overcome.
I agree. You know, that's one of the major keys for you know, someone to open up. Sharing is a major part of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for a long time, I had to realize that with therapy.
Mm.
Going to therapy, I had to understand that in order for me to really be open, I had to be receptive to what the person was saying to me, first of all. Secondly, I wanted to get to know my therapist.
Mm.
And if she couldn't, you know, share anything with me,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't going to work.
Right.
And she did that. So it made me more vulnerable and I was able to open up in that way. So I agree with you there. In order to receive the trust from the young man, he has to get some of your experiences.
Exactly.
And the only way he can learn about you is if you share.
Exactly.
So
Gotta share it.
I agree with you 1000% there. And I think that's pretty cool that you do that. All right. So here's my next question.
Mm-hmm.
How do you incorporate mentorship, discipline, or accountability in the program?
Man, well, the discipline first and accountability, they go hand in hand, man, because discipline is or I'll say like this, accountability is the child of discipline. And in order to discipline yourself, you have to self-reflect.
Thanks.
Within self-reflection comes accountability. And so what I do is I have open-ended conversations, you know, about maybe something that you've done negative within the past week or day. All right. Somebody tell me something that they wish that they could have improved on this week. Somebody tell me something, you know, that they're not proud of that they've done this week. So instead of us being secretive about the things we've done, we share as a group the things that maybe we were ashamed to admit to either ourselves or our parents. And what happens is the young men understand now that I'm not alone. Maybe I'm not the only one making mistakes. I'm not the only one, you know, making the wrong decisions at time. And what that allows me to do now is now I can dissect the decisions that they make based upon the results or consequences that they had to, you know, receive. And what that does is that allows them to hear from a different perspective, something positive, right? but also another way out, you know. And even if there's not a way out of your situation, there's always a way through. And we have to give them tools to get through these things. So when it comes to discipline, there are principles, specific principles, and you named them, specific principles that we try to instill in their mind. And how we do that is through physical exercise. What that does is that gets them to be able to have to think through pain. And you may not be in physical pain every day, but you're going to be in emotional pain a lot. You're going to be in some mental pain a lot. And most people, when they feel any type of pain, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual, they lay down. They give up. You know what I mean? They sit down. They become a victim. So what we're doing is, in order to be self-disciplined, you have to be able to push yourself beyond the things that make you uncomfortable. And the reason why some of them, as young men, make bad decisions is because it's more comfortable going with the crowd because they're liked and validated. It's uncomfortable not doing the norm and being ostracized. So you have to be able to get through your uncomfortable moments. So we discipline them. You know, different activities and different exercises that make them struggle a little bit, make them, you know, feel a little bit of resistance. And while they're doing that, they're stating the principles that we're teaching. They have to repeat these things. That way, in the time of trouble, they have something to fall back on. When it's time to think and make a decision, a lot of these young men cannot trust their own thoughts. So you got to give them something to think about. So we have a mission statement, we have a creed that we go by, and when they're going and
you mind reciting the creed?
Yeah, I gotta get it. I have it on a sheet of paper over here. I'd have to go get it. But
so what's a small statement that y'all put out there?
The last statement, bro, the last statement is the most important statement. It says that ensuring that my values are a reflection of a man made in the image of God. So no matter what you have to understand that every decision you make is a reflection of God. And if you're not making the right decision, a good decision, or a loving decision, then who are you? What image are you reflecting? And that's what we're trying to get them to understand. A good man is a man who has God within him, you know, and in order to make a great decision, a good decision, a sound decision, a positive decision, and an impactful decision, you have to consult with God. And that's what we try to, is being in tune with themselves, in tune with the spirit within them, and now, you know, connecting, you know, with the spirit of God through that, man.
That's awesome. So,
yes, sir.
We know that mental health among men, especially Black men, is often overlooked.
Oh, man.
How does the program tackle the emotional and psychological development?
Man, no, that's a beautiful question, brother. Beautiful question. Man, our last session last week was, our last month, I believe, was health and wellness month, or in some effect of that. And we had a health fair. We had our last meeting and our session at that fair, and we were able to dive in into men's mental health. And again, you'd be surprised how healing it is when you're in an environment of transparency. You know, most people see who's going to be honest first in order to, you know, share their testimony. So guess what? I volunteer as tribute every time. You know what I mean? Because there's nothing that I've been through that I'm ashamed of, that I haven't already accepted. You know what I mean? So I can share it because I'm not ashamed of it. You know, but we tackle the mental health by getting them in tune with what the purpose of their mind is. What causes a lot of mental health, brother, is we overthink.
That's right.
When we overthink, then we overfeel. When we overfeel, now we get overstimulated.
And that's how it becomes a disorder.
That's how it becomes a disorder.
Absolutely.
You can't compartmentalize or organize your feelings or your thoughts.
Yeah.
So now it's a disorder. It's out of order, brother. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And that weighs a toll, especially on a man, when there's so much we have to protect ourselves from in the world. Our mind, when we're out in the world, our mind is all over the place because we have to be so analytical in our environment. We have to be leaders. We have to be natural protectors. You know what I mean? We have to put our body through some type of struggle. You know what I mean? So there are things that we do that require the hard work and the attention of a man. And we do all of that before we do a wellness check within us. We wake up like robots, brother. We wake up, man, and just go do what we do because we built for this. But let me tell you, bro, we can go days and weeks and months just doing things and not checking up on ourselves, you know.
Right.
So what we talk to them about is being in tune with their mind. Whenever you have a thought, you should know the source of that thought. You should know what feeling is connected to that thought. And if that thought is meant for you to continue to ponder on, or if that thought is meant for you to allow it to just pass through. And again, the main problem is when we allow thoughts to sit and resonate with us and we begin to overthink. And now we got thoughts that have branched off of these feelings. We done made up these scenarios, gave ourselves anxiety, you know what I mean,
Yes.
about things that have nothing to do with the present moment, brother. Think
Yeah,
about
they constantly play back in your head. Constantly.
I'm talking about the past, the future. Things as the past is one thing, bro. To reflect on your experiences, that's, you know, very understandable. To reflect on the things you've been through. The hardest thing to understand is to think about the future. Why are we wasting time thinking about what has not happened?
That's right.
That's where the anxiety comes, is that you feel as though you should have more or be somewhere else other than where you are right now.
That's right.
That's the mental health problem, bro. If most people don't know how to be present. So that's what we're teaching. And it's a slow process because these are young men. So getting them to understand what it means to live in the moment, they have to go through many experiences that forces them to sit down and think and really look around. You know, most young kids in school, they go to school. That's a very stimulating environment. They come home, play video games. You know, they have friends. They play sports. So there are a lot of things that occupy their mind. Music, television.
Right.
You know, so there are certain experiences that will cause you to have to sit down, to have to
Right.
and appreciate where you are right now, especially when you know you shouldn't be here. You know what I mean? So that's just that's an ongoing conversation, and we bring certain scenarios to their awareness so that when they go out in their own daily life and they get into certain experiences, now they know how to, connect, and they know how to be aware of what this situation is and how I'm supposed to think and feel about, what I'm going through right now.
Yeah, that's an awesome response on how you answered that question because, the shaping of the mind of a young man today is very important.
Very.
And we use the term each one teach one,
Okay.
but we also should be using each one teach one, mold one, and show one.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because when we do these things, we have to be examples. But
Yeah.
not only be examples, be the light in the darkness when they go through it. So,
Man.
helping their mental health, helping their mental health and help them overcome things will always shape them to be better individuals in society. So it leads to this next question. It's a bit of a segue since we're speaking about molding, teaching them discipline and everything, right? How has society, media, or music influenced the modern image of manhood? And how does your program counter that narrative?
Brother, you treading some deep water. Man, they don't want us to be men out here. Not no strong men, not a well-minded, a well-dressed, a well-thought, a well-read, a well-spoken man. A man who knows himself. You know the ancient African proverb, know thyself. And if they could get a man to live in another identity other than himself, they can control you. They can control us. You know,
right.
So we can start with the music, brother. You know what I mean? We have to the reason why we resonate with music is because of the frequencies.
Absolutely.
The rhythms, the tones, and the sounds. We resonate with that within our spirit. So if we were able to manipulate the words better, you know how many lives we can change. Lives. Yeah. Rap music and hip hop is one of, if not the most copied and most looked at culture in the world.
Absolutely.
So why isn't, if this is one of the biggest cultures in the world, the hip hop community, why are we not publicizing the best version of a man and female in that culture?
Yeah, we got the Toby Nwigwe's, we got the lyrical guys that talk the street stuff but still come out of their shell too. But the industry won't promote those records.
And that's the thing, bro.
It's really not the artist. It's those above the artist, those that run the actual labels, the CEOs, the owners of the labels, and the radio stations,
Right.
So
that's the thing, bro. It's more so about who they are putting out as the image of our community.
Absolutely.
That we lack the creativity. It's not that we lack the positive influence, but like you said, the society is molding the image of the man. And what image are they molding us into? Well, we see in what they promote, right? So if in order for us to counteract that, and what we're doing in our program to counteract that is we're going back to core values of what it means to be a man. Okay?
Sure.
It's not always about looking cool or looking like a man. It's not always about being validated. It's not always about having authority. A man is not always about having a child or having a woman. You have to know who you are and the purpose of who you are as a man before you engage with anybody in your community first. You know what I mean? So instilling old traditional principles of manhood, that I grew up with when I saw men, like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and Marcus Garvey and, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, you know what I mean? different men, Julius Erving, you know, in the basketball community, Kobe Bryant, you know what I mean? Different rappers, you know, you had Ice Cube coming in and making a change with his, genre of music. Going back to Earth, Wind, and Fire, who's one of my favorite
Your
groups.
favorite.
Yeah, who had a
I
positive,
forget, cousin.
you know, so going back to the core values, that doesn't mean we're going to be perfect, but we have
Right.
to understand that there are the tools that are out here right now are not going to directly lead you to the man that you're probably purposed to be because
Right.
of the hidden agendas. So what we have to do is create our own personal agenda of who do we want to be before we allow somebody else to tell us who we are.
Oh, that's awesome. So here's this question. This question might ruffle a few feathers. Excuse me, I'm a little tongue twisted. I need some water. Give me a second. Let me take a sip real quick.
Go ahead, brother.
Because this question here might make some people feel away, and I hope not, but
Let's see.
you know, they might not like your response or they might not like my response.
We'll see.
But here's the question.
Okay.
What role do fathers or the absence of fathers play in your work, and how do you help men heal from father wounds?
I can tell you the impact of a father because of the presence of my father. If my father is like my shaman, my father is like my spirit guide, you know. So in order for me to understand how I wanted to think as a man, my father first gave me the guidelines that led him to think, you know, as who, you know, as the man he is right now. And I didn't think he was lying, because when I looked at him, he looked and acted exactly how what he said. So I said this could work, you know. And over time, you know, there were moments where I didn't think I needed my father, but situations would come. And when I called him, he always gave me a token, a nugget, you know, some type of impactful word that guided me through my situation.
Yeah.
And I realized that if I didn't have my father in my life, I would have succumbed to a lot more emotional decisions. That is the biggest thing about having my father, was learning how to control my emotions as a man. And when you see the absence of fathers in some young men's life, a lot of them or some of them have behavioral issues or
Absolutely.
are emotionally unstable because
Absolutely.
they never learned how to how to express their emotions in a loving way, in a peaceful way. You know, it's all it just comes out. You know, a lot of them, you know, just act on what they feel, and that's not of a man who is self-disciplined. You know what I mean? So there are a few young men in our program who have absent fathers. So although we cannot be their father, we can be an example of a man, to where if when they think about a man in their life, they don't have to think about the absence of their father, because whatever their father would be teaching them, they're being taught by the man who are present in their life.
Oh,
And
that's awesome.
we have to be, that's why we are that example. We have to make sure that we are continuing to develop ourselves as men, so that when we have the opportunity to step in the place of a
Somebody's calling you. Oh, you muted out. Hold on. You muted out. We couldn't hear you. So you blacked out for a second. It seemed like somebody tried to call you or something, and we couldn't hear you. We still can't hear you. Say something, cuz. Say something. Can we hear you? Come out, come back in. We can't hear you. Come out and come back in. All right. You know what to do. All right, folks. So, this always happens. People be calling when they see people on the tube or Facebook getting interviewed and they decide to call in the middle of an interview. It happens. I'm sorry, y'all. But listen, I appreciate Aandre for what he does. And it is very imperative and very important that we be role models for our young black men out here. And what he said was definitely true. The absence of fathers, here he is. The absence of fathers for us young black men, can be very hard. And it does make a lot of young black men emotionless. I was a person who was this way. And it took for me to get with a family that had a lot of love. Because I was still that young boy that was hurt on the inside. Because I ain't had my daddy. You know what I'm saying? And my dad died over an overdose. He died, not that long ago. It's been like a year now. But
Man. Praying for you, brother.
We didn't really have a relationship. But in my younger years, oh yeah, I was definitely disobedient.
Yeah.
I ain't listening to people. Got me sent away, all that.
It's just that's because when you expect things to go a certain way and they don't, you develop resentment, brother.
Absolutely. And that's what happened to me.
Yep.
For
That
sure.
resentment towards the father or the absence of the father, that's what creates, that emotional stone in our heart, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
We try to, we try to dive into, what some of these young men are going through so that we can help them, so.
Yeah, I agree with you there, man. And listen, it takes the spirit of God to get that anger out of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Connecting spiritually with the Lord definitely helped me, shape me in a way where I thought I would never be because I had so many issues and I dealt with them.
Yeah.
And therapy helps too. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just daddy issues, it was a whole bunch of things with me. But, I done got shot at. I done got shot, died, came back to life, seen things while I was dead, all types of stuff. But, like you were speaking on earlier, sharing that with people can help someone else from making the same mistakes.
Absolutely.
So, I agree with you there 1000%, man. And that is my goal as well, to share as much as I can. Last Wednesday, I did an episode and I talked about PTSD and what the symptoms are so that people can be aware.
Right.
These are things that can help younger men as well.
Right.
So, yeah, man, I commend you for what you do, man. And I think it's pretty awesome. Two more questions. Because I know you got to go.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What do you want mothers, teachers, and community leaders to understand about the work that you're doing and how they can help?
Man, that we're not trying to replace your father, and we're not trying to overstep the parental guidance. We're just trying to add more information and wisdom to the minds of these young men. And what we want parents to understand is that this is an opportunity to receive help. That you don't have to do all the teaching and disciplining in your home, especially if you're a single mother. especially if you have a young man, that is growing into a teenager, into a young man, some young men are stubborn, especially, in single mothered households. So we want to be able to relieve any type of stress and anxiety on parents and their household when it comes to teaching their child outside of school and outside of, the community. And we are here to help develop young men to be the best version of themselves. So that when they're out in the community, they're able to meet and connect with people and be respectful. They're able to meet a young lady and be the ideal candidate of a husband and of a father. And when they're in their workplace, they're able to lead on their job, at any capacity.
That's right. And for me to be married to your cousin,
Yeah.
listen,
Love you.
I had to learn a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this is the longest relationship I ever been in. Listen, the 22nd, it'll be 15 years married. We've been together 20.
Wow. More than half my life, brother.
Yeah. Yeah. So, learning how to grow as a man.
Yes.
If you're willing to learn, I have to say that because that's the key, especially for us young men that have issues or come in things with, relationships. If you got anger issues, honestly, I'm going to be real with y'all and say, get that fixed first.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do find someone that loves you and is willing to work through that, don't become emotionless and not share your feelings because then that can be hard for you.
Absolutely.
I'll be real for you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Be vulnerable. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable, because she only trying to love on you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And that can help you change. So that's what it did for me. So I'm using myself as an example. It helped me change in a lot of ways. And when I say a lot of ways, for those that know me, a lot of people don't really talk to me because I'm different now. And listen, that's how you find out who your real friends are.
Facts.
Yeah, so
that's beautiful, man.
Yeah, man. So last question is this. What's your vision for the future of this program? Are you planning to take it nationwide, online, or even in the schools and prisons?
Man, everywhere, bro. To make a man will, and we're going to speak this right now, brother.
Yes.
To make a man will be one of the biggest mentorship programs for young Black men in this nation, bro. In this nation. There are communities that need attention. There's crime, dropout rates from school. There's young men who are getting locked up. There are young men who are not able to get jobs. So there are communities around this nation that need help, that need attention. And all some of them need are positive young men to go in there and be leaders positive men, adult men, to go into these communities and be leaders to these young men, right? And some we can take them by the hand, some we might have to take them by the neck. But either way it goes, I'm not going to leave here and let you fail. That's my point.
That's the goal.
Leave this community wherever I'm at and watch another young Black man fail. So that means I got to drag you out the street with me, then you come in with me. But you not
coming with
me.
Straight like that, y'all.
That, bro. That's how we do it, man. That's how we do it. We can't be passive. We can't be passive no more, bro. We have to be able. This is a crisis that we're talking about.
Absolutely.
A crisis, a mental health crisis in the community of Black men. So we cannot approach this thing passively. We have to be aggressive in our approach when it comes to wanting to change and being aggressive with love. That's the key.
Right. That's a fact. That's a fact. And that's one of the key things that helps create change in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Love is the biggest thing that helps create change. Jesus was love.
Man, talk about it.
Jesus is love. Let me say it the right way.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
so,
right.
you know, once you start there, you work your way down to everything else. Start with God first.
Yes.
And move around and learn as much as you can, folks. So this is what Aandre's talking about. This is what we on today. And I just want y'all to understand how important it is. You know what I'm saying? This is why he's here today.
Yeah.
So tell the people where they can find the program, where they can reach out to you. And I'll ask my last and final question, even though I said that was the last one.
Okay.
It's the one I ask everybody when I end the show.
Okay. So you can find me on Facebook at Aandre T. Fludd. You can find me on Instagram at a.flood_official. Or if you would like direct information about this program, you can visit the Facebook or Instagram of 100 Black Men of San Antonio. And we have a few posts on those pages that will give you information about To Make a Man. The best way to get thorough information is to come to the meetings. If you are anywhere in the San Antonio, Austin, or Hill Country area, and come join us every third Saturday at 10 a.m.
Hey, man. Dre, thanks for coming, man. I want to thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing the information with the people. This was definitely awesome. And you're an alumni of the pot. You've been on Stirring the Pot and the Pot. So, you know, we got to come on when we do like a topic type episode so we can get your insight on some topics, man.
Yes, for
I
sure.
definitely would love to do that with you.
For sure.
So turn the camera off, but don't hang up. You know the vibes. Right. All right, folks. I hope y'all enjoyed today's episode. It was a Friday night. I really wasn't supposed to do one, but I did one, and it was for my family. I love to do things with my family. When I'm working with family, I feel the most comfortable anyway. Out here, we moving and booming. Once again, it's your boy Tigmatic, Rat Patch. This is hiphop.com, TheMontyBrand.com, NorthShakeTheMore.com, CollywoodTV.com, Collywood Music, Collywood Radio, Going In Radio, and Dollar Radio. We out here. We moving and booming. Till next time, folks. Peace.